Now, Sue Cleaver is right here. She's released her first ever book. It's a work in progress. That's what it's called. I think we all are a work in progress. It's all about her life and the lessons that she's learned. And, of course, a few tales from, gosh, it must be almost 24 years playing Eileen.
Nearly 25.
Nearly 25, Sue. Where's that gone?
I don't know, because it's flown by.
I always remember you, like, way back, you would always go, straight cars. You know, your other thing was street cars. And it was such a brilliant character, funny character. This is remarkable. And
absolutely nothing.
Here we are. We're just seeing, some of the funny moments of Coronation Street. A work in progress, quite remarkable. I like the fact that you have woven in, it's your story, but also with that, we've got advice of things that you've learned along the way from when you were younger, and we're all young and daft, to right up to the present day. The story that really stood out for me was the way that you met your birth mother, or you managed to get in touch. That's astonishing, isn't it?
I know, it is an incredible story, and I think it's the one story that everyone in my life says, tell the story, tell the story.
Incredible. So you're working with somebody and they think you look...
Yeah, so I was at drama school and a couple of us were chosen to go and be at the Royal Exchange Theatre in a production of Oedipus. It was me and Steve Coogan, actually.
Oh, jeez, gosh.
And off we went, and I recognised this actor, and I thought, oh, I know him. He used to present a kids' show, and he was sat with David Threlfall at the time, who was in the show. And unbeknownst to me, Michael looked at David and went, she is the absolute double of my wife when I met her. And to cut a very long story short, at a party one day, he was chatting to me and asked me what my date of birth was, and I told him and where I was born, and I just saw him staring at me. I looked away, he'd disappeared, and he'd gone to a phone box and rang his wife and said, I found her.
Jeez.
So she was my birth mother, and I had two half-sisters, and everyone's in the business.
That's astonishing, isn't it? That just shows you that, you know, that maybe there's something in the fact that she was an actress. Everybody in your family is very creative.
Yeah, well, my sister Kate's Wendy and Bob the Builder. So, yeah, she's in Shaun the Sheep. She's in... So, yeah, it was definitely a nature trait. Yeah. But I'm fascinated, and I've always been fascinated about the whole nature-nurture debate, because I am a real mix of, you know, my family and my birth family. Yeah. And I find it fascinating.
What was also lovely, though, was the fact that you know, because clearly you always knew you were adopted, but your family, your mum and dad, that you call mum and dad, really welcomed your birth mum. I mean, that's
so
great.
generous.
Made it easier for all
of you. When I told my mum and dad, they said, every year we think, is she okay? Are we...
That's lovely.
You know, how must she be feeling? And they met her. In fact, they set up a slideshow for Leslie of all the pictures of me as a baby. I'm sure it was quite overwhelming for Leslie.
That's so kind.
And then we've all been in touch over the years. You know, sadly, my birth mother died at the beginning of the pandemic. But I've had all these years, and, you know, my two half-sisters and my family, and I've been very, very lucky. I mean, my mum's always going to be my mum. Of course. Leslie never felt like my mother, because there's no one like my mum.
No, but it's a different relationship.
Absolutely, you know, I would say it settled down into feeling a bit like a sister or a cousin. You know, there was definitely a link. There's definitely a link. But
it's astonishing. It really is. And you sort of say it's made you who you are. Yes. You know, it has. Yeah. And I was really interested, again, I didn't know this about you, that your family, because your dad's a teacher, obviously, that you grew up in Gordonston. Yes, I did. Which is where the Royals go to school, of course. Yeah, yeah. And you grew up there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a summer holiday. I mean, it's amazing. It's a mile and a half long. We lived at East Lodge, and, you know, when all the kids went home, the summer holidays, it was my domain.
Oh, that's like a Brighton movie.
Oh, it was, it was. My mum, I'd go out on my bike. She'd say, come back when the sun goes down. Don't go near the lake. Yeah. Which I always did, and came back covered in, you know, pondweed, but, you know,
Same generation.
Same generation.
Like, come home and you're hungry.
I was running around on a moped at 10, me and my brother. We were just, you know, in the private grounds. I don't know whether you're supposed to say that now, but...
It's fine. You know, it's fine.
You're
allowed.
Don't do this at home.
You do whatever you like. And then Corrie happened.
Corrie happened,
which was, and she's a great character. Yeah, she's a brilliant character. I love her. There's been so much over the years She's gone through so much over the years as well. But essentially, she is the kind of woman I would like to go out for a drink with.
Yes, I think she is every woman.
Yeah,
we all
she
know
is actually.
And the book's about, I mean, the book's very much a book of two halves. The first is my stories, and it's about the secret, the inner world, the inner turmoil that I lived with, and, you know, from being adopted, and that secret world that we all have of, like, not believing I was good enough, overthinking, being anxious. And then the second half of the book is how I changed, how my life changed, and how I want to help empower other women and women of a certain age, because we get to this age and society wants us to just shuffle off.
Yes.
And this book is very much for women out there who are feeling diminished and have no voice. So I hope this is going to help.
There's great advice in here, Sue. Really good advice. Like, you've lived it. You know it. You have lived this, and you're now giving everybody the benefit. You've even trained as a therapist as well.
I did as well. That I did. I had to defer my final year because I got very involved with the serial killer in the show. Yes, that's very true. I suddenly went, what? And then I remembered. And you took a wee bit of time off, but back soon. I'm back in now. I'm back filming, and of course we're filming Helen Worth's Leaving story, which is breaking my heart because I have a connection with Helen as well.
Well, you do, because Helen actually knew your birth mother really well, didn't she?
She was godmother to my two half-sisters.
You could not make it up.
So Helen's known me since I was 23, and quite often over the years, Helen will look at me and go, oh, that laugh, that was Leslie's laugh then, you know.
Just like your birth mum.
Yeah.
That is astonishing, isn't it? And you have had a few tussles over the years, to be fair.
Yes. Do you know, when we were doing that, it was pouring with rain and she would straddle me and it was in between a take, and we looked at each other and we said, this is the most ridiculous way to pay the mortgage. I mean, it is. She sat on top of me in the pouring rain. This is how we pay our mortgages.
Well, keep doing it for as long as you want to. Sue, this is great. It says wise, essential, and also very funny. That's what Charlene has said about you. Obviously, you were in the jungle together, which again you said was a great experience. So good to see you.
Good to see you.
You've got an inner glow. I love it.
Thank you.
Yes, an inner glow.
It's my decade.
It sure is. It sure is. And a work in progress out right now.